In 1912, the Titanic sank during its maiden voyage. More than a century later, its wreck still rests nearly 4 kilometers beneath the ocean. The wreck was discovered in 1985. Since then, scientists have continued exploring one of history's most famous shipwrecks.
The goal was the historic Titanic wreck, resting in silence at the bottom of the ocean.
He said, "I'm going to solve the Rubik's Cube 3,700 meters below sea at the Titanic." He always had such big dreams.
19-year-old Suleman had a passion, the Rubik's Cube. He'd taught himself online, solving it in 12 seconds. On June 18, 2023, the Titan submersible began another expedition to visit the Titanic wreck. Among the passengers were Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his 19-year-old son, Suleman. Together, they began a journey few people have ever experienced. The Titan descended quickly into the Atlantic. Within a short time, it had reached a depth of nearly 3,000 meters, entering one of the darkest environments on Earth.
For the wealthy, it was an adventure, but at 3,300 meters deep, the environment becomes unforgiving.
The crew repeatedly sent communication signals, hoping for a reply. Minutes passed, but no response ever came.
Sending signal again.
Still nothing. One more try. About 1 hour and 45 minutes into the mission, communication with the Titan was suddenly lost. The control team could no longer reach the submersible.
Tragedy struck. 1 hour and 45 minutes into the dive, all communication with the surface was lost. June 18, 2023. The world watched in horror as the Titan submersible vanished deep within the North Atlantic. Days later, wreckage confirmed the unthinkable. The submersible had imploded under immense pressure.
An international search operation was launched. Rescue teams from the United States, Canada, and other organizations rushed to locate the missing submersible.
Massive rescue operation began, but as time passed, hope for the passengers began to fade.
As the estimated oxygen supply ran out, hope began to fade. Around the world, many feared that everyone on board had lost their lives. As the estimated oxygen supply ran out, hope began to fade. Around the world, many feared that everyone on board had lost their lives.
This happened in the Bathypelagic Zone, a realm where water pressure is lethal and life is impossible. At these depths, sunlight is non-existent. Scientists call this pitch darkness, a total absence of light. It is so dark that even if you held your own hand before your eyes, you wouldn't be able to see it. Remarkably, 1400 years ago, the Quran described this exact phenomenon in Surah An-Nur, verse 40. It speaks of darkness in a vast, deep sea, covered by waves, upon which are waves, over which are clouds. This layering creates a depth where light cannot penetrate at all.